Harvin Network. I greet everybody upon this evening. This here is another conversation, and I posed a question to the public. Why is have both parents in their life? Of course, if the parents are alive, of course, if the parents are, medically okay, and things like that. For the most part, y'all know I'm not a pastor, preacher. I don't hold any type of office in the church. So please do not lay claims of those titles on me. We're not here to violate any type of community guidelines, any type of copyright infringement, or any type of privacy guidelines at all. Shout out to everybody going to join us live now, in the middle, and catch it when it uploads to YouTube for sure. We're looking forward to having a great conversation as we normally do for the most part. What's up to Laura Lee? Shout out to you. Hope all is well. Let me see what you said in the beginning at Laura Lee. You said definitely not important in my circumstance. It actually worked out because instead of being stuck in sin with their father, I was rejected, which caused me to live for God and to be the kind of mother that my daughters and my future grandchildren need, if God permits me to live long enough to see my grandchildren. Laura Lee wrote that. Gotcha. Appreciate that comment. What's up to John Smith? Shout out to you, Brother Jonah Brown, Suzanne Miller, House. Hope all is well. Shelley House says it's important because the ones who grow up with a father or mother in their lives sometimes feel depressed and are bullied. Huh? You said it's important because the ones who grow up with a father or mother in their lives sometimes feel depressed and are bullied. Was that a typo? Did you mean the ones who didn't grow up? What's up to Marcia? Shout out to you. Hope all is well. You said it doesn't always matter children, but it does complete the family. Prayerfully, the parents keep everything in its proper place, as far as not communicating everything in front of them. It's a good point right there. I like that. Okay, not a problem at Shelley House. You're forgiven. You're forgiven for sure. You know. What was I? Marcia. You said as far as not communicating everything in front of them. Absolutely. Pete says you stayed by the stuff. I've seen so many leave here this channel. What? I'm lost. I don't understand that one. At Heat. You said you stayed by the stuff. You said I've seen so many leave here this channel. Man bless you. I don't get that. First two parts. What's up to Levy? Kato, what up to Kato? Quanah B. Roxanne, shout out to you. What's up to German? Mello. Hope all is well. Sister Monica, shout out to you. Hope all is well. Art of War. Okay, I guess you revised your comment at Heat. You said thanks for staying real and sticking with the truth and not changing. For sure, appreciate that. It's a rough journey. I will say that. Appreciate that at Sandra Brown for the support of this YouTube channel. God bless you and your family. What's up to Bless? Anthony Nelson. Shout out to you. G Swole says, I think it's important, especially when the child is being defiant with the mother, for the father to enforce the child to obey his or her mother. Very interesting. Very, very interesting. Elaborate a little bit more on that one at G Swole. What's up to Sister Davis? Heard Wise, shout out to you. What's up to William Barlow? Shout out to you. Hope all is well. Thank you for joining this conversation and whatnot. Very interesting. Very, very interesting. Because I'm pretty sure some people out there is going through it. You know what I mean? Some people, whether you're the child, the children, the mother, the father, or having a hard time to come to agreements, or somebody don't want to be in the children's life, the mother, the father. Some mothers out there don't want to be in their children's life. You know what I mean? Of course, we hear a lot of fathers out there that don't want to be in their children's life. All right. 6 minutes at Heard Wise. About 6 minutes, 7, 8, somewhere around there. All right. Where was I? Let me see if I missed anybody. You said WYS. You said going through it. Yeah, you know, it happens. It happens. Somebody put a status up on Facebook. I forgot how it went. But I don't want to turn this thing into a relationship talk, so I'm going to leave that alone. All right? They put something kind of similar to this. Anthony Nelson said, yeah, it's good to have both parents drugs and in them streets. How do you expect to turn out? Well, I wasn't really talking about anything like that. You know what I mean? If both individuals got their head on right, both, no medical issues, no drug problems, none of that. Understand that? None of that. Two people who got their minds right, but just can't get it together. You know what I mean? Just because they had situations in their relationship, or they went through a divorce. You know what I mean? Because some people use the kids as pawns. You know what I mean? They use the kids just because they hurt, because this individual hurt them. Now, that person could have been a good parent. You know what I mean? All right. William says, I've raised my daughter for the past 5 years. My daughter's mother fell victim to a drug overdose. All right. Where we at? Not a problem at Anthony Nelson. Let me see where we at. Which video I had? Let me see which video we can pull up. I'm sure if it's still on this computer for sure, but no, it's not on here. Man, of course we gotta play a video. Sandra Brown says, thinking that they hurting the other parent, but they're really hurting the child. Absolutely. Spiteful. Spiteful mothers out there. Spiteful fathers out there. You know? Jesus Horse is like, I think it's hard for a mother to raise a child on her own, especially a son, to need the father to set the son straight, when in most cases only a father can teach a son how to be a man. Well, we know in a high percentage of homes, single homes that is, who takes on the children? Their mothers do. You understand that? That's hands down. Whether you're in holiness or not. Whether you're in holiness or not. You understand? That's just how it is. Sometimes there's nothing you could do about it. You know? Yeah, you could go to the courts. Listen, I want custody of my kids, whatever. Okay. You want to stay? Okay. You know? That's just how it is. You know what I mean? All right. What's up to McCummins? Shout out to you. Destined for greatness. Shout out to you. Shelley House says some parents also put down the other parent in front of their children, which is wrong. Absolutely. For what? For what? You understand? Sister Monica said this is a very deep topic. Absolutely. Absolutely. I might put this question on my Facebook. I should put it on my Facebook to see how it turns out. Because Facebook audience is like different, man. It's very different. But, you know, we'll see. What's up to, what is that, Yuvan? All right. Turning out to be more Skittles than ever. What's up to biblical instruction before leaving Earth? Shout out to you. Hope all is well. Appreciate that. Anthony Nelson says, I went through that. I used to ask myself when I was younger, who do you love more, dad or mom? I said, there's some parents out there that try to make it a competition. For what? For what? But of course, like I said, you know, a high percentage of the kids, they stay with their moms. So they're going to cling to the mother. You know what I mean? That's just how it is. You understand? That's just how it is. Some people be together. They may have made a baby or babies. Just can't get along. They just can't get along. Some people can't stand it. What was that? I don't know what that was. I had to do a check on the outside, man. Strange noises. But we got to continue it. You understand? Some parents don't like their children, right? Because they look like the other parent and they don't like the other parent. Ain't that something? Wow. I don't get it. I really don't. What's up to Charlotte Ann? Shout out to you. Wanda. Shout out to you. G4 says, I hear you. A strong family structure nowadays when boys seem so feminine. Yeah. But like I said, you understand? A father could want to be in a child's life, but you have some women out there that won't allow it. Just like you saying that, there's a lot of women that act so overly independent. You understand? They act like they're the superwoman. They can do this, do that. And they don't need the man to be the father. He could be a good dad. Still keep him away for the kids. Still try to make it hard for him. Still. It happens. Wicked women. You know what I mean? Wicked. You know what I mean? I agree with you, G Swole. I do. But there are a lot of women out there that keep the kids away from the father because of failed relationship, or for some, a failed marriage. What's up to Khadijah Reeves? Shelly House says, I was a single parent, but my daughter's father has always and still does care for her. I must say I was blessed because he made sure she had everything. Wonderful. All right. Capricorn says, my mother always would use the word infidel. It took me years to know what she was talking about. For sure. All right. Let me see. Sandra Brown said, how about when the grandparents try to take over the parents' rights? Well, I mean, that's something different. If you're talking about if you bring the kids over to grandma, grandpa's house, and you know how they are. If you're talking about something like that, hey, you know how grandparents are. But if you're talking about something legal, that's a different story. All right, destined for greatness is important for both parents to be a part of their children's lives, especially if the parents do not live together. It's a devastating move to keep parents from children and vice versa. Yep. Ah, man. Just imagine if the kids live in different states across country. Wow. As a father, you can't complain. You know what I mean? Because there's women out there that will do that to you. They will move the kids across country. You understand? They will move the kids across country, put you on child support. You understand? And watch your pockets. Pocket watches. You understand? Oh, he used to work at McDonald's. Now he's an electrician now. I'm going to write to the courts to raise the child support. Now he owns an electrical company. I'm writing. Or some fathers out there could be spiteful too. The woman got a new man. It can get ugly. It can get real ugly, and I'm pretty sure some people out there, even to the people in the background, or to the people who gonna watch it, who have missed it when it uploads to YouTube. Pretty sure you probably have been through it, or know somebody that been through it. It gets real ugly. Real ugly. It's okay. Listen, if two people can't get along, fine. But do not include the kids in that. Don't include it. You understand? Because remember, the kids, Lord willing, will get older. You understand? All right? McCummins says people abuse the kids when they look like the father in some cases. That's crazy. Yep. Pete said, trolls at your place. Huh. Oh, man, you would have heard a body slam if that was the case. David B says, a lot of families are falling apart, creating single parents households. The parents then hate each other, and the kids get caught in the middle. Absolutely. That's a sad thing. Sad thing, you know. I see folks putting statuses on Facebook talking about situations like this. You know, people put their personal business on Facebook. I could put a whole lot out on social media. Y'all be like, wow, oh man, Ooh, I don't do that. But some people do. You understand? Some people trash the father of their kids, the mother of their kids, all over social media. Now I'm petty. I'm a real petty person. Petty. I could be real petty and ruthless. But listen, it takes humbleness and it takes what we're learning, right? We under right now to keep me at bay. You know what I mean? It takes that humbleness. Then not to give people the business all over social media. You know what I mean? People talk about their wives or their ex-wives and this and that all over social media. Some people put the kids in it on social media. Kids' pictures on social media and their mess of what they're going through. All over social media. Creating a mess for what? You know what I mean? Listen, I'm keeping all my personal business off of social media. Keep it off. If you're in your feelings, listen, you don't need to. I'm going on Facebook, I'm typing my status. Oh man, hey y'all, my baby mother, she did this, you know what I'm saying, and did that. Leave it alone. You know, people do that. People do it. It's crazy. You know what I mean? All right, David B says, I wouldn't even talk down. I wouldn't even talk down on your kid's mother or your kid's father, nothing like that. You dislike each other. Don't even do it to your kids. The kids ask you a question, how you feel about mommy or whatever. Listen, much blessing to her. I hope the best for her. Lord willing. Period. That's it. Don't tell the kids, man, she's an evil, wicked woman. I can't stand her. She's hateful. She's this, she's that. She's meaner than the devil. You understand? You know? If you look the word devil up in the dictionary, there's her picture right there. Signed, sealed, and delivered. Don't tell your kids that. I know it's funny. I know it's funny, but don't tell your kids that. You know what I mean? Simple. People do it though. Including, you know, people who are quote unquote Christians. Right? Gregory said, I had both parents and it made all the difference. Same for my son. Right? Sister David says, that is sad but true. Resenting the child because you're not mature and sensible enough to know the child had nothing to do with their looks or being in this world SMH. Wonderful. Jonas says, I could have had a good amount of kids in my teenage years. Having no kids isn't really all that bad. He said a good amount of kids. He said a good amount. You ain't got no kids? Ah, man. Ah, man. See, my time is flying by quick over here. Seems like flying by quick. Kids is getting older. You know what I mean? I mean, if you happen to get married and have kids, man, have fun. You understand? Have fun. You know? Capricorn says, that silly someone don't like their child because they look silly. Absolutely. Definitely agree with you on that one. Sister David says, some of the moms keep fathers away because of greed, money, all about the money. Levy says, not having a father around made things harder for me. Growing up, because my mom had to work multiple jobs, so I basically had to raise myself. Wow. I mean, a lot of us been through similar situations, growing up without, the father in our lives or whatever the case may be. Although somebody else could have played the father figure like an uncle, cousin, whatever the case may be, grandfather, whatever. A lot of us been through those situations and whatnot. What's up to Cynthia Davenport? Sandra Brown said, you're absolutely right. And the mothers want to keep the children away from the father, still want child support. Support. I'm not talking about the mothers who need it as far as like the deadbeat fathers. You know what I mean? We're talking about the good ones. Still want child support. Wow. Ain't that something? Marcia says, you said, yep, I believe a lot of women don't love their kids as they should because they look like the father. You said, that's devilish. Absolutely. What's up to Jermaine? Shout out to you, John Smith. Tiffany G. Swole said, yeah, that's sad when it seems like mothers don't care about their son being feminine. When I came across a video of a mother influencing her son to like a boy that had a crush on him. You got some mothers out there that dress the BOY up in GIRL clothes. I gotta watch my words with the YouTube thing. They pick up on certain things. Gotta use codes and spell words out, not to directly say things when it comes to that protected group. You understand? All right. The kids from the father. He says, I love a break. I love a break. He says, if the father is saved or they pulled one way or the other trying to get them to serve God is rough. Absolutely. Or one is in the truth and another is in a false church. Ain't that something? A false church. You know what I mean? Listen, everything you do as a parent reflects on your kids. There was a situation, I'm saying no names or whatever the case may be. On Facebook drinking. Supposed to be a church woman. Drinking in front of the camera. Stupid. You understand? Stupid. Listen, people look at that type of stuff. You know what I mean? They look at it. Tiffany says, I'm a single mother raising 3 boys alone. And you're right, their dad can be spiteful. I'm not even with another man and they're spiteful. Yes, it can happen, or whatever the case may be. It's sad. It's rough. You know what I mean? But I will say this, people will reap what they have sown. Simple. I would not want to have a spiteful heart or anything like that at all. You understand? I do not know why some individuals are like that. You know? Cynthia Davenport says, yes, both parents are a great thing. My mom passed away when I was 12, and I missed out on a lot of nurturing from a mother. Marcia says, don't visitation rights come with paying child support? Well, I don't know nothing. I don't know much about that. Things vary from state to state in general. You know what I mean? So, I don't know. That I don't know. Visitation rights. Ain't that something? Got to have a judge or court to mediate the two. If that's how bad it is, if the man want to see the children, you take him to court for visitation. Just let him see his kids if he's a good father. What's wrong with some of these people? I don't get it. The man want to pay the finances to the kids, and you take them to court for child support for what? You're going to pay anyway. I don't get some of these individuals. It gets so bad out there, still asks for extra. Listen, the judge already extra. Wow. It's sad out here, man. Child support don't last legally. It don't. So they can enjoy it now and whatever the case may be. It don't last. It don't last. You know? All right? Cap Yukon says maybe they need a group therapy for single parents. Well, I don't know much about that. I don't know much about that. All right. Let me see what we had. Read that. Sandra Brown said, yep, my neighbor's daughter poisoned her mother's food, and she had a seizure and passed away yesterday. Wow. That's crazy right there. Marcia says, my son divorced his wife, and she went bonkers. The kids are 10 years old, and they tell her about it now. Destined for Greatness said, that's disgusting and disrespectful to air your personal relationship business over social media. Yeah, people do it. They want to vent to people over social media as if people care. People like the entertainment. They love to see that as far as like it being entertaining or whatever the case may be. You know how many people would love to hear or see me put up some stuff? They would love it. Man, the false prophets to pick it up, man, they'd be talking about this, talking about that. Wow. Wow. Let me tell you something. Like I said earlier, I could be real petty. Real. You understand? Real petty. Oh, man. Talk about hurting feelings that can make people cry. Petty. You know? But it's good that, you know, I have grown and have gotten mature. You understand? To utilize the platforms, you know what I'm saying, for positive things and not dirty laundry. Whereas though that's what a lot of social media is, laundry. You know what I mean? All right, Jonas says, clean your social media. Absolutely. So, Sister Davis says, with all these pedophiles on social media, not smart to put your children's picture on social media. For sure. For sure. You know, there was a time I used to put my kids' pictures up. There was a time. I remember putting my son's picture up when he was born. I could put it up now. They'd be like, oh man, Tony got a baby right now. I may put old pictures up, but it's new to social media. Meanwhile, the child is almost 19 years old. I could put a picture up, him 2 or 3. Won't even say nothing. This is my son right here. That's it. They think you got a baby. You know, I do that. But I don't, for one of those reasons, I don't put my kids' pictures up. I don't right now. You know what I mean? It is a lot of pedophiles in and out of the churches. That's another good topic right there. Church pedophiles. Church pedophiles. That's another good topic right there. Because there's a lot of pedophiles in the churches right now. You know? And it don't have to be physically. You could be a pedophile too. You know? What up to David B? Shout out to you. Hope all is well. Double S. These forces, I wish I had a strong biological father to push me to be better than I am today. Interesting. UK. Anthony Nelson says some women are like that because they are influenced by their mothers and other wicked female friends. Oh man, Captain Khan said they want to be like the celebrities. What up, the prodigal son? Shout out to you. Oh man, Tiffany Neely says I have a friend whose mother passed away and never told her who her dad is. I have my dad in my life, my whole life, and there is a big difference in the type of woman we are. Wonderful. Sister Monica says to all who says they didn't have a father in our Father which art in heaven has always been there. Well, they're referring to physically. Physically. You know, I do validate that also. Your comment. Capricorn says, why I'm trying to get everyone to come. You say you're trying to get everyone to come. All right. Jesus Paul says, kids nowadays are so normalized about not having a father to the point they're not fazed by it. Yeah, I mean, I was like that, when I was younger. It didn't bother me. I didn't think of it, whatever the case may be. I was outside having fun, playing football, basketball, fighting, whatever the case may be, as a kid, and whatnot, Austin says, both parents guide children in truth, love, and godly upbringing if they are alive. Wonderful. Nebi says, but only God can judge me. Something they would say. God, right. Tiffany Neely says, you're right about that. One of this walking with a cane at 46 with all type of health issues, and he doesn't understand why. Wow. What's up to Ernest Beard? Shout out to you. Austin says, in holiness, children should have both living parents in their lives because it's God's order for the family, giving them love, guidance, and stability according to the Holy Scriptures. Well, I mean, that's cool. But even people, like I say, even people in the churches, they don't stand by that. Even a lot of people in the churches, they don't stand by that. You know what I mean? They let it seems they let their personal feelings get in the way. You understand? Could two people in holiness who's not dealing with each other be cordial? It's some personal feelings that it just creates mayhem among individuals, whether in holiness or out of holiness. Of course, we're supposed to follow things like that. You know what I mean? But like I said earlier, it might be one person in holiness. The father might be in holiness, but the mother might not be. She may be a Seventh-day Adventist. She may be a Catholic or a Mormon. Drago says, you parents out there putting bills under your children's name, knock it off. Why are they still doing that? Wow. He said, Jerk Chicken Apostle would love that. Shout out to Jonah. Double S says, you can have a parent in home, mine, other side of town, which is worse. G-Swole says, do you believe a son can have more of his mom's genes from birth? The reason why they are so feminine. Well, I can't answer that question right there. You understand? I'm not into, the genes and DNA and all that other stuff. You know what I mean? If that fella becomes a Skittle, it's a spirit. But there are some men out there who are feminine, but they like women. You understand? Some, they just can't help it. But some try to be feminine. But that question, I can't answer that one. That's kind of rough for me. I'll leave that to the preacher man for that one. You said my audio is cutting? We good? Mic check. We good? We good? Is the audio good? Let me know. Okay. All right, Laura Lee says, the Lord is a father to the fatherless and a mother to the motherless. All right, Capricorn said, when I was around my family today, they asked me, was I a Muslim? Because I keep my hair wrapped in long skirt. Oh, man. It's funny. What's up, Latoya Henley? Shout out to you. What's up to V. Coleman? Shout out to you. Hope all is well. See how much time we got left. Double S says, I raised girls and a son. Sister Monica says, your movements are glitching. Well, connection. Normally when stuff like that happens, it might be a storm coming, rain coming. That happens a lot in North Carolina. You know what I mean? With the connection, for the most part. Yep. It set the rain or whatever the case may be, so hey. Let's see where we at. We got a couple more minutes and then we're gonna knock off. Couple and then we're gonna knock off. Double S says, I will not stay together for children only. Understandable. At Double S. I don't get that last comment at Double S. I don't get it. Yeah, as I'm looking at the video, it is glitching on YouTube. Yep. All right. You also stated that if children have trouble adjusting, get counseling. You made reference to at Double S. You said too much pressure on two parents. Just do your best. Absolutely. That's important. I mean, that's all women supposed to do, right? Try their best, do their best, even if it's somebody, a mother or father that's being spiteful. You know what I mean? Don't go tick for tack, back and forth and things. You give it your best as long as you're trying. Hey, it is what it is, man. I know some mothers or some fathers can get on your nerve, can make your blood boil and stuff like that. It ain't even worth it. At the end of the day, what's up, the Mercy Car? Shout out to you. Hope all is appreciate that. All right. If you got any last closing remarks, feel free to leave it in the chat room. If you got any last closing remarks, feel free to leave it in the chat room. For sure, as we come to a closing. It's a good conversation for the most part. It's a Friday. And I did see that came on earlier. You know what I mean? I guess because of the time difference over there in Rome. Yeah. So I'm pretty sure he's gonna come on tomorrow, and whatnot. Y'all go check that out on First Church of God YouTube channel. Appreciate that. I heard wise. Appreciate that. Absolutely at Double S. God bless you too at Drago. God bless everybody out there. You know what I mean? It's one of those nights where as though I want to try to give me some rest for the most part. And hopefully we can pick it up tomorrow with some more good conversations. Maybe a recap and whatnot. You know, we're going to have some time tomorrow, Lord willing, for the most part. And I hope everybody have a wonderful night. You said tomorrow 4 o'clock? Cool. I hope everybody have a wonderful night. What's up to Patrick? I hope everybody have a wonderful, peaceful sleep. You know, if you got work tomorrow, you know what I mean? Kudos to you. I got work, whatnot. So I thank y'all for tuning in. Tony Harvin of the Tony Harvin Network YouTube channel. I'm out. Peace.